Hello everyone, my name is Eliza, and I'm an ex-Amish girl from Pennsylvania. Today I want to talk about something I get asked about constantly. Why do Amish marriages last so much longer than modern marriages? The statistics are actually pretty shocking. The divorce rate in Amish communities is somewhere between 1 and 3%. In mainstream America, it's around 40 to 50%. Amish marriages really do last about 3 times longer, sometimes even more. And I want to explain why based on my own experience. First, let me tell you how Amish dating actually works because it's completely different. We don't call it dating, we call it rumspringa and courtship. When Amish kids turn 16, they enter rumspringa, which means running around. This is when young people are allowed to socialize with the opposite sex, but it's not like modern dating at all. There's no Tinder, no going out to movies or restaurants. What happens is young people go to Sunday night singings. These are gatherings where unmarried Amish youth get together, sing hymns, and socialize. After the singing, boys might offer to drive a girl home in their buggy. That buggy ride home is basically the Amish version of a first date. And let me tell you, those buggy rides were a big deal. If a boy and girl like each other, they start courting. The boy would come to the girl's house and they'd sit and talk, usually in the living room or on the porch. My older sister courted for about a year before she got engaged, and her boyfriend would come over every Saturday evening. They'd sit on the porch swing and just talk for hours. Here's the key difference. When you're courting someone in the Amish community, you're not just getting to know them as a romantic partner. You're evaluating if they'll be a good husband or wife. You're looking at their character, their work ethic, their faith, their family values. Romance is part of it, but it's not the main thing. My mom told me that you should marry someone you respect and who shares your values, and love will grow from that. In modern dating, it's the opposite. People lead with feelings and chemistry, and then they're surprised when the relationship falls apart once the butterflies fade. Another huge thing is that Amish people don't live together before marriage. You're not sleeping together before marriage either. I know that sounds old-fashioned, but here's what it does. It means you're making your decision based on who the person actually is, not just physical attraction or convenience. You're choosing to marry them without knowing all the little annoying things about them, which forces you to commit to working through those things after marriage instead of just breaking up when it gets hard. The engagement period is also short, usually just a few months. Amish weddings are big community events, but they're simple. They happen at someone's house or in a barn. There's a church service, a big meal, and that's it. No expensive venue, no going into debt for one day. You start your marriage without financial stress, which is huge. Now let's talk about what happens after marriage, because this is really where Amish marriages are different. First of all, divorce is not considered an option. When divorce isn't on the table, you approach problems differently. In modern marriages, when things get tough, there's always that option in the back of your mind. In Amish marriages, that's not how people think. When there's a problem, you have to work through it. That forces couples to communicate, to compromise, to forgive, and to actually solve their issues instead of giving up. The community also plays a massive role. When an Amish couple is struggling, the church gets involved. The bishop and ministers will meet with them, counsel them, and help them work through whatever's going on. There's accountability, but it also means you have support. You're not just two people trying to figure it out alone. Gender roles are also very clear in Amish marriages, and I know this is controversial. The husband is the head of the household, and the wife takes care of the home and children. But in every Amish marriage I saw growing up, including my parents, major decisions were discussed together. My dad never made a big decision without talking to my mom first, and my mom had complete authority over the household. Because the roles are so clear, there's less conflict about who should do what. In modern marriages, couples argue constantly about division of labor. In Amish marriages, everyone knows what their responsibilities are from the start. Both roles are valued and necessary. Another thing is that Amish couples don't have a lot of the modern stressors that destroy marriages. They're not on social media comparing their relationship to everyone else's highlight reel. They're not constantly exposed to other options and wondering if they could do better. They live in small communities where everyone knows everyone, so there's not a lot of temptation or opportunity for infidelity. Money issues are also handled differently. Amish people live simply. They're not trying to keep up with the Joneses because everyone in the community lives basically the same way. Most Amish families are debt-free or close to it. Financial stress is one of the top reasons modern marriages fail, and Amish couples just don't have that same pressure. Children are also a central part of Amish marriages. Amish couples usually have a lot of kids, and those kids are seen as blessings, not burdens. In modern society, kids are expensive and stressful. In Amish communities, parenting is more straightforward, so there's less conflict between spouses about how to raise the kids. Now, I'm not saying Amish marriages are perfect. They're not. I saw unhappy marriages growing up, and because divorce isn't an option, some people do stay in marriages that probably shouldn't continue, especially if there's abuse. That's the dark side people don't always talk about. But for the majority of Amish couples I knew, their marriages were solid. Not always exciting or passionate by modern standards, but stable, committed, and lasting. There was genuine partnership, mutual respect, and a shared purpose. Since I left the Amish community, I've dated in the modern world, and honestly, it's been really hard. The lack of commitment, the games people play, the constant shopping around for someone better. It's exhausting. Sometimes I miss the simplicity of Amish courtship. I think the biggest lesson we can learn from Amish marriages is that lasting relationships require commitment over feelings, shared values over passion, and hard work over convenience. Modern dating prioritizes chemistry and excitement, but those things fade. What lasts is respect, commitment, faith, and the willingness to work through problems instead of running away from them. That's why Amish marriages last 3 times longer. It's not magic. It's a completely different approach to relationships from the very beginning. Thanks so much for watching, and if you have any questions about Amish life or relationships, leave them in the comments. I'll see you in the next video.